The Gospel of John is one of people's favorite books in the Bible. I know it's been mine. I've probably read it more than I've read any of the other books. And I've read chapter 20 so many times. And on the surface, I don't think I've missed anything. I mean, we got it's first day of the week. Mary Magdalene's coming to the tomb. She sees the stone is gone. She looks in and Jesus isn't there. She runs and she gets Peter and John. They come back. John looks in. He sees that nothing is there but linen cloths on the ground. Peter comes. He goes all the way in. He's standing over it, studying it, looking at it. And then he leaves. And then John goes in and he looks at it up close and he leaves. And then Mary goes to the edge and looks in and she sees two angels. And then she hears somebody talking to her from behind. And it turns out it's Jesus. He gives her some instruction. Go tell the disciples. She runs and she goes and tells them. And they rejoice and believe. And then Jesus visits them that evening. And they were just overjoyed. And but Thomas wasn't there. So, when they saw him, they told him and he didn't believe it. And then the chapter ends with Jesus showing up again another 8 days later and has a conversation with Thomas. In this chapter, you can see reference to the Garden of Eden, the first and second Adam, the Day of Atonement, the high priest, what they wear, what they did after they brought in to the Holy of Holies that one time a year, the sacrifice, the mercy seat that was there, and the Ark of the Covenant. It's all in this chapter. And when I started discovering that, it was blowing my mind. And so I'm not necessarily trying to teach you anything because I don't really consider myself a teacher. I'm just somebody that wants to learn and wants to know as much as I can. And I'm just going to share with you whatever it is that I find. And that will be my current understanding when I share these videos. But I can't wait to share this one with you. And there's going to be about maybe 4. I'm not going to gloss over this chapter, but I don't want these videos getting too long. So this first one today is going to be verses 1 through 10. It's just going to be Mary's first, discovery. And then it's going to be how John and Peter, what they see and how they react. But after that, then we're going to go through Mary's experience and her conversation with Jesus. Then we're going to really look into the whole tie into the Holy of Holies, the mercy seat, the Ark of the Covenant, all of that. And that is just, that really blew my mind. So, and then there'll be one more after that, probably with the Jesus's interaction with the disciples. So with that being said, I hope you enjoy this as much as I do, and I hope that it will encourage you to go study this and go deeper, and then share in the comments other things you found. I mean, let's grow together, let's learn together. So with that being said, let's start. Now on the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene went to the tomb early while it was still dark, and saw that the stone had been taken away from the tomb. Okay, a couple of things I want to just mention briefly in this first verse. The tomb. Now, all the Gospels mention the tomb, obviously, but only John mentions the location of the tomb. He says in chapter 19, verse 41, "Now in the place where he was crucified, there was a garden, and in the garden a new tomb in which no one had yet been laid." The tomb, this brand new tomb, never been used, was in this garden. And it just happened to be right there next to where Jesus was crucified. I think John's laying some groundwork for some wonderful typology we're about to walk through and see. So just keep that in mind. The next thing, the stone. Again, the other 3 Gospels mention the stone was rolled away, and that they all three used the exact same Greek word for rolled away. So it's just kind of pushed off to the side, as we've always pictured it. But John uses a different word than they do. And the word he uses, I'm not going to try to pronounce it, because I'm just reading this from the same tools that you can read it through, like Blue Letter Bible. And I just wanted to get a sense of why did John use a different word? Well, the word he uses means to take up, to lift away. And the tense of this verb it's called perfect passive participle, and the perfect tense indicates a completed action with lasting effect. It describes the stone that was taken away from the tomb, emphasizing the permanence of its removal. That just really grabbed my attention, and you're going to see, going forward, you got to hang with me through these videos. You're going to see how this comes into effect here, but I just wanted to let you know what's coming. And I'm going to put one more thought in your mind here and see if you agree with me on this. I'm going to say the stone was not rolled away so Jesus could get out. I've always thought that. I've never really put much thought into it, actually. The angel rolled the stone away so Jesus could get out. But if you look at in this same chapter 20, in verse 19, John writes, "Then the same day at evening, being the first day of the week, when the doors were shut where the disciples were assembled for fear of the Jews, Jesus came and stood in the midst and said to them, 'Peace be with you.'" So Jesus clearly did not need the door to be opened for him to come in. And I'm saying he probably didn't need the stone rolled away to get out. So what would be the purpose for the stone being rolled away? Well, it's for the witnesses, right? It's so the witnesses could get in, see everything, and go tell everybody. Let me know what you think. Let's go to verse number 2. Then she ran and came to Simon Peter and to the other disciple whom Jesus loved, and said to them, "They have taken away the Lord out of the tomb, and we do not know where they have laid him." So Mary's reaction was pretty typical, right? I mean, we all would think the same thing. He's not there. Somebody has stolen the body. We've got to go find him. We don't know where he's at. So let's go get him. Let's go find him. So, verse 3. Peter therefore went out, and the other disciple, and were going to the tomb. So they both ran together, and the other disciple outran Peter and came to the tomb first. And he, stooping down and looking in, saw the linen cloths lying there, yet he did not go in. Then Simon Peter came, following him, and went into the tomb, and he saw the linen cloths lying there, and the handkerchief that had been around his head, not lying with the linen cloths, but folded together in a place by itself. Then the other disciple, who came to the tomb first, went in also, and he saw and believed. Okay, the cool thing that I want to point out in this section is how John uses the word saw, the act of seeing. John gets there first. He glances in. He sees the linen laying there. And then Peter comes, kind of blows by him, I guess, and he goes all the way up to it, and he's looking. And there's a different saw right there, according to John. And then when he walks away, John goes in, and he saw more up close everything. Again, our translation is the same word, saw, but not with John. So, okay, let's walk through this. In verse 5, when John gets to the tomb and he glances in, it's a word called blepo, and it means a brief glance or registering of sight. Now, in verse 6, when Peter goes in, it's the word theoreo, and it means an attentive, detailed observation. So he's hovering over it, he's looking at it, he's studying it, and he's just, it's not a casual look. He's really looking. And then he leaves. And then John comes in behind him, and he saw everything. But this saw is the word Aden, and it's a comprehensive seeing. And he understood and had belief in what he was seeing. So you've got 3 different verbs for seeing. One means a glance, the next one means a study, and the next one means understanding and faith. Now, they're both looking at the same thing. So why would John just say, like in verse 8, he goes, then the other disciple, himself, who came to the tomb first, went in also, and he saw and believed. See, he said he believed. He didn't say that about Peter. Peter walked away. But Luke fills in that gap. Luke 24:12 says, but Peter arose and ran to the tomb, and stooping down, he saw the linen cloths lying by themselves, and he departed, marveling to himself at what had happened. So this word marveling is a word called thaumazo, and it means to wonder, to be amazed, but with a sense of astonishment without understanding. It was indicating a lack of faith, because John said when he saw, he believed. So he's showing that little bit. There's that little bit of contrast going between the two of them. Was Peter clouded by his recent denial? Was his heart still heavy that he had denied Jesus, and maybe he just couldn't get past that? I mean, we've all had issues like that. I know that I do. I was telling Missy the other day, I still struggle with things I've done in my past that I've already been forgiven for. I've asked forgiveness, but sometimes they just hit me because I betrayed somebody, or I denied somebody, or I hurt somebody. And sometimes that still just grieves me. So it's not out of my belief and thoughts of this could be what Peter was potentially going through. That's just speculation, but let me know what you think. So let's read 9 and 10. For as yet they did not know the scripture that he must rise again from the dead. Then the disciples went away again to their own homes. Okay, so that's where I'm going to end this video. I don't want them to get too long. There's plenty here to ponder, to study, to go back and look at until the next video, which the next video is about Mary Magdalene and her experience after John and Peter left. She saw some things they didn't see, and she got to talk to Jesus, and there's some more interesting typology that's going to happen in that. So make sure you don't miss that video. Until then, hope you have a great one.